Assalamualaikum. I am Muhammad Asra bin Asman from Group 12. I want to say thank you to Dr. Fatima as a lecturer for this subject. Introduction about rubber. First, a prominent plantation crop known as crying tree by ancient tribe of South America. Raw material about 50,000 products in manufacturing industry. Thailand, Indonesia and Malaysia account for about 70% of global supply of rubber. Morphology about rubber. Rubber tree is sturdy, quick-growing, erect perennial. Physically of trunk is cylindrical but frequently swollen toward the base. Female flower is apical. Male flower is lateral in inflorescence. Seed of the rubber is an oily endosperm. Scientific classification of rubber. In order Malpighiaceae, in family Euphorbiaceae, in genus Hevea, in species Hevea brasiliensis. Common names rubber. Most common place. Planting rubber crop is Kuala Kasar Perak, Alustar Kedah, Seremban Negeri Sembilan, and Segamat Johor. Regular rainfall around 2000 until 2500 mm per year. Average temperature around 26 until 35 degrees. Malaysia is the best area to plant rubber crop. Land preparation and tillage. First, land clearing is to clear up the field for rubber planting and to remove or eliminate the roots, disease, fungus. Second, drainage construction is to remove excess water in the soil and to ensure there is sufficient water in the soil to crop uses. Third, road construction is to maximize the general efficiency of all activity undertaken by the plantation. Four, field leaning is to fixing on point in the field where planting is to be carried out. 5. Terracing is to facilitate manuring and facilitate hauling and planting operation. Last, planting is choosing the good seedling for planting.
Hello, my name is Nuralis Diwani. I represent about propagation, field planting and fertilizer application. In rubber plantation, we will use seed or budding to propagation. Propagation by using seed we know as sexual or generative method. Seed must be collected based on size, weight, color, season and weather. After that, seed must be sown within 24 hours. The seed will grow as a seedling tree or as a rootstock for budding. Second method for propagation is using budding. This method known as a sexual or vegetative method. There are two types of budding, green budding and brown budding. For field planting, based on the table, we can see that if soil condition different, number of plant per hectare also different. This table shows the number of plant per hectare on the undulating lowland more than plant on the hilly area. For the general maintenance, we must control the weed to ensure rubber get enough nutrient for fertilizer and get enough sunlight. Hand weeding method can apply to remove weed in the polybag. After that, fertilizer application. Manuring application will differ based on different area and different age of plant. For the pre-mature rubber, broadcast the fertilizer around the base of the tree in a full circle. The radius of the circle as the age of the tree. For the mature rubber, in flat area, fertilizer should be broadcast in the avenue if ground covers consist of very light, non-competitive growth. For the hilly area, fertilizer should be applied in a wide band along the tree row, starting 30 cm from the tree and extending to the terrace slope.
My name is Norafika binti Roskuzaimi. I would like to continue on hormone treatment part. Hormone treatment apply on rubber tree, auxin or ethylene and ethylene. Auxin and ethylene used as efficient yield stimulants in mature untapped rubber trees. But for bud treatments with FCC acid ABA and salicylic acid SA, where could also induce a transition increased latex yield. Plant hormones are naturally occurring organic substances that are produced within the plant at low concentrations. They are produced at low concentrations which regulate the growth and metabolism. Next, we have crop care, pruning, training, and pollination. Pruning, the first thing is pruning and elimination of weed trees is mainly operated at the nursery level and to a lesser extent in the first years after field planting. Plants that fail to take a root in the first 2 years in the field must be replaced at the beginning of next rainy season. As for pollination, mainly by midges, which are only active around sunrise and sunset trips, operating throughout the full day. As these pollinators do not fly far and widely scatter, it was likely that under natural conditions, and the self-pollination might have taken the place, and that multiplication of trees was by seeds. Crop care pest and disease control. We have here the powdery mildew caused by pathogen named Audium hevea, and we have the white root disease caused by pathogen named Rhizoporus lichenosus. We have pin disease caused by pathogen named Corticium salmonicolor.
Hi, my name is Kajundran, son of Arnajalam. My matrix number F1980244. So today I'm going to explain how to harvesting the latex. First of all, we need to do it in the early morning by reopen the kite. Begin with taking away the latex that has coagulated on the kite. Take away also any latex that has flow over the bark. Then with the gouge, take a little piece of bark 1.5 millimeters thick without touching the cambium. The latex will flows along the cut, then down the channel and through the gutter. It drops into latex cup. After 3 to 4 hours later, collect the latex. Now moving on to post-harvesting, we have 4 methods which is start with producing liquid concentrate. In this process, latex is processed into a liquid concentrate by removing some of the water and increasing the rubber content up to 60%. So by spinning the water out of the latex, the centrifugal force by evaporating process and known as the creaming method. Second method is producing dry stock. So field latex is coagulated with acid and then can produce up to 4000 lbs per hour stream of the water, creating a crumble-like material. So the dry rubber is then compacted into bits. Third method is forming sheets. Rivet smoker sheets are made by first diluting the latex and adding acid. So the acid makes the rubber particles into bunch together above the water serum in which they are suspended. After several hours, roughly 1 pound of soft gelatinous rubber coagulates for every 3 pounds of latex. The rubber is allowed to stand for 10 to 18 hours, then the slabs are pressed into thin sheets through a system of roller that brings out excess liquid. The final set of roller leaves rebuild a pattern sheet that increases the surface area and hastens drying. The sheets are dried up to for a week in a smokehouse before being packed. And lastly, producing other products. The rubber products makes a shape by placing it in a heated mold, which helps shape and vulcanize the material. And now downstream of a rubber. So we can see the top end of the latex production results in latex products such as surgeon's gloves, condoms, balloons, and other relative high-value products. In the mid-range, which comes from the technically specified natural rubber, material ends up largely into tires, but also in conveyor belts, wipers, and miscellaneous goods. So I can conclude that rubber has been utilized for a quite long time and supported material for assembling of numerous items. So rubber is yet significant wellspring of the world. Rubber brought a ripple up in numerous ranges based primarily on Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. So the fat of oil is currently by a wide margin supported as the principal hotspot for rubber assembly. Rubber may hence turn out to be more significant later on. Thank you.